Hey, it's Bruce with the WeedShear. Today we're going to give you a little tour and demonstration of how this phenomenal tool will cut nearly any kind of aquatic plant or pondweed. And in this quick little shot here, you can see a 4 by 25 foot path. That's what you get with each toss that you throw out there. And the WeedShear is real simple to throw. It comes with a 25-foot leash, and so most anybody can give it a pretty good launch. And the 25-foot leash is oftentimes not enough because people will sometimes add more to it so that they can throw it out, say 40 feet or more. Now, you basically give it the toss, and then the second step is to allow it to sink. Just takes a couple of minutes because it weighs about 6 pounds. And once it goes down to the bottom, and in this particular application here, it's about 12 feet deep. And our goal here is to remove the hydrilla. And you can see it was thrown 2 different times prior to this toss, one on the left and one on the right. And that is how much they came up. But here's the key, and here's the exciting part, is watch this come up with each of these tugs that Glenn is pulling at it. It literally just comes floating to the surface. And usually when we do demonstrations, dockside demonstrations, this is where people put their money up because they realize that there's no other way that they're going to be able to go out there and find a tool that can do something that quick, that easy. And so in this particular frontage, we had we threw it only about 6 different times across the way, across in front of this dock platform. And as we did it, everything came to the surface, 4 foot wide by 25 foot. And there you can see literally that's one swath, and that's 12 feet deep of hydrilla. Now, it works great on, in this case, lily pads. It works phenomenal on lily pads. In fact, that's one of the best applications for it. And in that case, you got a more typical pond. This one was one down in Texas where we found that there were tires, there were logs, there were sticks, a number of different obstructions. And they certainly don't make it easy, but it certainly gets its way through it. This was down in Florida where we had some bulrushes and pencil reeds. This is one showing where it's very shallow, only about 2 feet deep where it's being tossed right there. And so with those, whether it's deep or shallow, whether you've got a submerged weeds or you've got emergent type of weeds such as cattails, bulrushes, pencil reeds, ryegrass, any of those type of things actually work well with the WeedShear. So once you've got it to sink down to the bottom, then it's really just a matter of pulling it back in. And when you pull it back in, one of the things that I think is really key is to point out is that it's a jerking motion that does the best job. Now, in talking about it as a jerking motion, it doesn't have to be a jerking motion. Look at that incredible amount with just 6 tosses that we put out there. This comes back to the some more bulrush shots coming through. But when you pull it back, a lot of people want to pull it with a boat. And although it's not intended to be pulled behind a boat, it certainly can handle the stress and the strain of it. What it doesn't, which if you don't use that jerking motion, it kind of rises up to the top of the water surface. Whereas if you're given a jerking motion like this, with each cut, you're cutting, it's getting cleared, and then it's sinking back to the bottom. Now, we've got a couple of different options. You can have it really with the short handle, as you saw us throwing it there before, or you can add an extension on. You can make it over 9 feet tall so that you can do a reach. And where about the only application where I like using a longer handle is if I'm working around a dock, or if most common application is if I'm going to a stand of cattails or bulrushes, and I can do it from the shore, and I can just reach out over the top and be able to go down to the other side and then literally tug on them. In this particular case, there was a pond that this pond manager literally just wanted to be able to snip off just that one little bush that was out there, and it worked great. So here you can see how long that handle is. It's obviously a good reach, but it's a little cumbersome that way for tossing it, and that's why we recommend using the short handle. So once again, you can get a 4 by 25 foot path with each toss that you make. Phenomenal. I don't know of any other way you can do it. I don't know of any other way tools that are out there. Here's a couple shots from the UK that we got from one of our dealers over there. This is a pond that was one day's work to be able to cut all that around there. Here's a quick little shot of the pieces and parts. You got the sharpener that comes with, and you've got blade covers and the 25-foot rope and the extension handles. Hey, check it out, the WeedShear. Give us a call. Let us know. We can help answer any more questions. We ship them all around the country and all around the world. Thanks for checking it out today, the WeedShear.